All right. Hey there, and welcome to this episode where we're going to talk about the idea of letting go of resistance to anxiety. So, there's a really good book, and I haven't finished it, but it's called Letting Go by, I believe it's Dr. David Hawkins. And so he wrote a whole series of books and talks about consciousness and a lot of the stuff that we talk about. And one of the major realizations that I had while reading the book, as well as, one of the things that I see people, I think, struggle with a lot is this idea of resistance to anxiety. And so the whole idea of letting go of essentially is just, acceptance. It is just your willingness to embrace, right? Non-judgmentally. So, and we talk a lot about that with the AAA response, right? That's the whole second step of the process, right? Of just learning to accept and allow, right? Or, just be present with feelings that are in your body. And when it comes to the idea of letting go of resistance, one of the things we have to realize is we can't let go of something that we are already resisting, right? We can't feel anxiety if we're resistant to it. So before we begin to feel anxiety, what we have to be able to become aware of is our resistance to it and actually feel the resistance to anxiety and then move into anxiety itself. And this layer is very important because if we're trying to accept anxiety because we want to get rid of it, well, that right there is resistance. And therefore, all the work you're doing to try to accept anxiety is not working because you're not accepting it. So our resistance to anxiety, right, and that fear is really the first barrier that we want to become aware of in our own lives in just and again, this is with any feeling, right? A lot of anger, resentment, guilt, all these things, right? And so when we are resistant to this, right, that is where we really want to start to notice the resistance, right? Notice that, okay, I'm wanting to feel this anxiety because I want to get rid of it. So I'm resisting anxiety. So again, accepting the resistance. Okay, I'm just noticing this resistance come up. And again, by putting our conscious awareness on something, again, we are detaching from it and we're letting that dissolve in its own time. And then what we're able to do is actually move into the feeling of anxiety itself. And this is, I think, one of the major things that will help on the journey is this idea of noticing your own internal resistance to feeling the feelings, and that step of noticing the resistance, because so often the feeling comes up and it's so intense and so strong that we're in a reactive state of consciousness and we're trying to get rid of it. So we're like, okay, I'm supposed to allow this feeling. And we go and we say, okay, I'm going to allow this. I'm going to allow it. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it. But the whole time we're doing this from this context, I'm doing this to get rid of it. That's not feeling anxiety. That's not allowing anxiety. That's not letting go of anxiety. Letting go of is the idea that we are going to stay with something in a non-judgmental way and give it the conscious awareness that it needs to surface and pass on its own time. Now, yes, we know feelings are impermanent; they can't last forever. So there is going to be an up and a down with this feeling and this energy. But the more and more we bury it in our body, right, that element is going to be, the more we bury it in our body, the more we're going to, again, resist it and resist it. So the more it's going to perpetuate. So when we're talking about noticing the resistance to the feeling, that's the first level, right? It's just noticing the resistance that you're experiencing, identifying it. Okay, I'm getting very resistant to this feeling, and kind of letting go of that resistance, and then allowing the feeling to come up and stay with the feeling as long as you need. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, this is going to be just a shorter episode today, because this is just one concept that I wanted to talk about, and I just think it's an important factor that a lot of people don't realize. And again, this is something I, again, personally, work on, right? Just noticing my own resistance to feelings and just, whatever is going on in my body, there's that resistance and that need to get rid of, or that need to address. That is resistance right there. And that is operating from a very judgmental of, feeling, the judgment of the feeling as bad, or the feeling as dangerous, and that reactiveness is causing then you to go do something to try to get rid of it. So when you begin to notice resistance, that's going to really help you on this journey of being more accepting to the feeling as it comes up, and actually to feel the fear, or anger, or guilt, or whatever, sadness, and that. But noticing the resistance is an amazing first step to really take, because it will actually allow you to do the work more effectively. So hope that was helpful. And again, if you're looking for additional support or more support on this, we have a guide right down in the description, as well as we have coaching programs and resources over at Restored Minds for you, as well as programs that you can go to that are self-directed. So please check those out. As well as we now have a little link that if you would like to support the show in any way, there's a little link down in the notes where you can support us through PayPal and make a donation of your choice. And it's just a way, again, to show your support, as well as you can also like and subscribe and share across the social platforms to just help the algorithm of the show. So thank you so much for taking the time to be out or hang out today. And hope you guys have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care.
Thank you so much for watching that video. And so if you're struggling with OCD and anxiety, I just wanted to let you know that we have a free training for you over at Restored Minds, where you can start learning how to use our AAA response to really break out of that loop and ultimately take back control of your life. And all you need to do to access is just click the little link below, and you'll be taken to a page where you can register today. Thank you so much.